Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, so let's get cracking here. We have Nvidia. We'll start with that one today. It actually bounced off the 406 support level yesterday with a 7% bounce, really strong, and that also lifted the rest of the market higher. It is still in a bullish trend on the medium term, despite having this bearish engulfing here. It's still in play, so the jury's still out on that one. If we get Nvidia back above these peaks here around 456, 457, then it could be back in bullish trends. S&P 500 was also lifted a little bit after bouncing off the 44.55 support level, testing the rising trend line here from the backside or from beneath. If it breaks back above the 45.27. We are back in bullish trend again. The RSI is still in positive sentiment, and if it moves back above 60, we could see a move higher on the S&P 500. On the other hand, if it breaks back below and closes back below, we need a close, we didn't close here, close below 44.55 and takes out this a little dip here, the low of the little dip 44.43, then we are in a downtrend confirmed. Nasdaq, more or less same picture, strong upwards move here. We have this short-term falling trend line here. It's not the strongest one, but just to illustrate the downtrend we have seen here the past couple of weeks. RSI is still above 40, so we are still in positive sentiment. But if we move back above 15,500, then we are back in bullish trend. So let's see what's gonna play out there in the coming days. Touching a little bit on upon the Seng, it touched the rising trend line here, but still managed to close above the support at 18,562. So, but those levels are really key to look out for. But we are in a downtrend. We have RSI below 60, so it is actually indeed a confirmed downtrend. On the European markets, DAX is selling off this morning. So the downtrend has resumed after a little bit of trying to get better above the 16,000, but it has failed, and I think we'll see the DAX trading below or trading lower here the next few weeks towards the support at 15,482. AEX also a little bit heavy, but still holding on though above the cloud. And we have the Belgian market, which is quite interesting. It's currently trading below the 36.76 support level, or pivot line, as I will say. However, we have the RSI above 40, so it's still in a positive sentiment. So maybe it's just a larger correction than originally anticipated. We have the 55 moving average coming up here that will add some support. So we could dip down to 3600, 36.14 before a bounce, but the uptrend is definitely in jeopardy on the Belgian market. We have the CAC40 moving lower. It's still the 72.51 support we should look out for. Currently testing the cloud, so maybe it couldn't really follow through on this closing of the gap. So it looks fairly heavy, but if we do get a close below 72.50, then we are in a bearish momentum, a bearish trend. So sideways, I will say, on the CAC. Sell-off in euro-dollar yesterday below the 786 retracement. But we're still not below 108.33. If we do get below that, well, then we are in a bearish trend on the daily, but also the weekly will be jeopardized. So we will probably see reversal of the uptrend which we have seen here on the medium term on the weekly chart. So that's really something to look out for. For euro-dollar to resume uptrend, it needs to close above 110.65. Then I will consider it being uptrend. There will be some resistance up here, however, but we could still be in a little bit of a of a sideways trend here the next couple of days, maybe a week between 108 and 110 level. The yen pairs. No, let's talk about the dollar index first, of course. Got rejected at first attempt at the 103.28 at this peak here back from July. That is, we are back above the cloud, so we are actually in a bullish trend. It is confirmed with the RSI, but we also have the 200 moving average coming down. That is kind of putting a lid on. What is interesting on the daily chart, on the weekly chart, is that it actually did test the upper falling trend line here. So next couple of days could be quite decisive. Will it slide back again and can't really penetrate the 200 moving average that is declining, or will it move above, close above the 103.28? That's really something one should look out for. Dollar yen slowly climbing higher above the 145. There's currently no resistance, but 148 at the 138.2 retracement projection level is a likely target short to medium term. On the weekly chart, we can also see, the uptrend is continuing. There's no divergence. There's a little bit maybe slowly building up here. So 146.60, we have 786 retracement of the massive sell-off here. So there might be a little bit of a pause, but we are in an uptrend on dollar yen. If we're looking at the euro yen, also in an uptrend towards 160.60, not really much resistance there. Also sterling yen higher towards 167, possibly 188, and a change here at the 161 projection, and possibly all the way up to 188, where there's some strong resistance. Finally, when we're talking about yen, and there will be an update later on all the yen pairs, Aussie yen testing the falling trend line here. Can it move above? But the Aussie yen is, the Aussie dollar is actually weighing quite heavy, and it is still. This morning actually looked like it was doing a pattern, a bottom reversal pattern, but now the sellers are back in control, and 64 level seems to be a likely target where there'll be some support. Cable oil caught in this range between 126 and 128. It needs to break out. We have some strong support here at 125.90 and some resistance here with the upper rising trend line, and at 128.20 that one should keep an eye on. On the commodity side, gold is continuing to drift lower, now touching the 200 moving average. Can it actually give some support? It usually does, and then we have a little bit of bounce, but we have the RSI below 40, so we are in a bearish sentiment, suggesting lower levels, and the 1892 trough here from June, July, it could very well be tested. We have the moving averages all pointing down, so it seems fairly weak. And if it does close below here on the weekly, then it's going to be interesting, because then suddenly there's room down to around 1847 on gold. So really something to look out for. It's a bit of an inflicting point at the moment. I say 22.15 on silver still in play. Copper. Here this morning, it's going right through the 370 support area. It touched it yesterday, but now it's moving below. If it does close below and we have the RSI back below or below the 40, well, then there is room down to around 360, 355 support level. On the energy side, well, after being rejected at 88, the Brent crude oil, it is in for a correction. There's also divergence here. You can see that the values here, they are dropping, and we should see a correction down to 83, possibly 82, which is the 38 here around the 382 retracement and the 200 moving average. On the Dutch gas actually moving the other way and currently back above the cloud. If it can close above here, then we are in an uptrend. It is actually a positive sentiment as shown here on the RSI. So there's not really any resistance until around 50 spot 30 level. Finally, on yields, US Treasuries testing the 422, 421, 422 resistance level, but there is it's not the strongest one, and we could see a move up to around 430, 435 here in coming weeks. All right, that's all for today. A busy day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Happy trading.